Hello everyone, it's Like a Boss here. We're into the 10th race of the season, this time at Singapore, a street circuit, and we're currently 8th car on the grid. 8th best, that is, and also 8th best in the standings. We can't build any more parts because if you look at the top, we are broke, but let's hope that won't get us too far behind. Before we get into the race weekend and qualifying and everything, I do want to say that here are our drivers that we're looking at again. And I have heard from some people that we probably don't want to go the older route, which might knock off Kevin Magnussen depending on how you vote down below, or how you not vote, but what your decision is. I have heard some good things about people wanting some of these younger talents before we go after some of these people who've had their shot, per se. So you let me know down below what you're wanting, what you're thinking, because we do have to sign them after the 12th race of the season, or then every other AI team gets to pick them before we do. It's a weird system in the game, but I did a test season with another team, and just letting you know, it does happen. Well, what's this? A dilemma? Oh my gosh. Just when Giovinazzi got himself 2 points finishes in a row, he has the audacity to ask, "Hey, is there any chance of a bonus? I'm remodeling my kitchen in my second house, and well, who knew that the built-in wood-fired pizza ovens were so expensive?" You know, he's Italian, so I wonder if the game actually has it coded into it that it knew that he wanted a calzone, like Ben Wyatt, or... Look, we're broke. You're really asking for a broke company for money. I'm sorry. You know what, with attitude like that, I don't know if we should keep him. Well, looks like we will get some new sponsors here, which should help us get some more money, hopefully. Upfront payment is the most important thing for us, and this is the shortest deal, which means we should have a chance to re-sign another one. I know per race payments are always great, but we need money now so that we can avoid losing more influence to everyone. After doing some quick addition and quick maths, you know, Brutus Tires gives us the most money over the best period of time, and we get more money per race, which will just help us. Alright, here we are, preparing to go to Singapore, and we're going to choose the one thing that we can do, not finish in last, basically. In the bottom left, you can see that the most critical parts are the gearbox, the brakes, and the front wing. It just so happens that we make a pretty darn good front wing, and a completely average brake. So, don't expect too much, but maybe we'll be decent. Alright, here we are at Singapore. There's a delicate balance needed for the track here in Singapore. There are some tight sections, but also a few long straights. It's a toughie to set up for. Singapore is one of the tightest tracks on the calendar, and the insane humidity around here means that the drivers will really be earning their money this weekend. Well, except for Gio, he doesn't get to finish his new kitchen. Hopping into Quali. We already know what we gotta do. Do our best. And I'll make sure to show the best runs as we continue on. Coming out to our last qualifying run here, let's hope it's a good one. Kimi stays in P7 and Gio gets to P9. We almost were on the same row there. It looks like we get split barely. But this is a pretty darn good showing for our team. Pretty darn good, indeed. Pretty solid qualifying effort from both of our drivers here. Us, as Alfa Romeo in P7, great qualifying position. And P8 for Daniel Ricciardo. P9 for Gio. So both of our cars are already starting in the points. This is a good sign for this track. I think that our car is definitely designed to be more of a short track, where it's more of the, we need to turn quickly so that we can show off how good our front wing is, which really helps the car turn. but we don't have the engine speed to get there. Great qualifying session for Alfa Romeo there. And honestly, it was a great session. Let's get into the race and hope that we keep the same pace. This race is all about the battle between Verstappen and Bottas in the race for the Drivers' Championship. I can't wait. That's not gonna happen. Race time. With the championship so close, this is primed to be a cracker. With Charles Leclerc getting the pole and Max Verstappen in second place, Sergio Perez starting in third and Valtteri Bottas in fourth. On the fifth row, we have Lewis Hamilton and Carlos Sainz. With a shocking qualifying effort from yesterday, Kimi Räikkönen is in P7 with Daniel Ricciardo in P8. In P9 we have Antonio Giovinazzi, the Italian, who wanted some help on his kitchen, and Fernando Alonso. P11 Esteban Ocon and Mick Schumacher in P12. P13 Sebastian Vettel and P14 Nikita Mazepin. Moving on to the bottom of the grid, P15 Lando Norris and P16 Lance Stroll. P17 Pierre Gasly. P18 Yuki Tsunoda. And P19 Nicholas Latifi and George Russell. So it's a 20 lap race. I know how the last couple races we've been doing the whole, oh, let's just split it in half for Kimi, it makes most sense. It doesn't. We need to do the mediums onto the super hards for him. It's just that simple. Mediums onto super hards, make him last about 8 laps on the medium, bring him in, and his super hard tires should last for 12 laps. And we're probably going to do the same thing for Gio, but he has a special boost because of very annoying Chief, that his medium tires were even slower than Kimi's do. So since he's behind Kimi already, he should be able to go almost 1 lap more than Kimi Räikkönen in this race. Weather, from what we can tell, looks clear, but Singapore can always rain, so be prepared for that, but let's get some points out there. The 5 red lights are coming. And away we go. Oops, didn't mean to speed it up there. Kimi Räikkönen coming into P6 here. Getting back out to P7. Trying to bring you closer into the action here. As there's a building, so I'll have to go out. I didn't think this through. Alright, we're starting to falter. But our strategy should play to us, I hope. How many times have I said that? We're right by each other. We really need to just get one person in front of the other. We can't lollygag around like this. We're going to be managing our ERS a ton this race because it's not exactly the longest circuit in the world. And there we go. So on this long straightaway, we're going to want to use our ERS because it turns our engine up to the max that we can get. There's a mistake ahead of us, but can we capitalize on it? Looks like Räikkönen is starting to move up just slightly. Ever so slightly, that is. I feel like Gio will probably need to start saving his tires at some point. So I want to wait till he kind of breaks off from Sebastian Vettel behind him, since Schumacher's on a completely different strategy. So far, nothing crazy is happening. Looks like Verstappen already has a 2-second lead over his teammate. That's crazy to think of. Imagine leading. We're going to let Gio conserve his tires beginning here as Vettel is far enough behind that I don't feel pressured by him. Kimi Räikkönen just right behind Sainz. We'll see what happens here. I don't think that any more teams are going to be trying the one-stop strategy because there's no way those super hards can go that long if they're already... I guess they're only a quarter for Stroll. Stroll might make it on the one-stop strategy, but I don't know how in the world he could do that. Magical. Tell you what. Continuing on with the same strategy of using ERS on this nice long straightaway, and Gio will finally get to use his normal tires because he has saved roughly 1 lap, and if he hasn't, we're going to make him save 1 lap. as Kimi Räikkönen has a little bit, like 2 laps on his tires, maybe more. Depends on the leader's decisions and how ours actually wear. He's really catching up to Seitz, who seems to be struggling behind Daniel Ricciardo in that McLaren, and I am so thankful that we are on the shorter layout for this track, because the longer layout has extra long straightaway on the back. We would just get eaten up there. And with the straightaways that they currently have, we're already getting eaten up. Car conditions this early into the race seem to be okay. No real problems yet, but always be prepared for problems. Kimi's doing a good job just keeping up with the pack ahead of him. Gio's tires are actually so good that he might be able to just make it onto the same tire set. If that were true, you know. We'll see what happens. Still normal weather for us. It's going to get a little bit cloudy, but that's not bad at all. Kimi Räikkönen wearing about 11 per lap. I guess Kimi's tire wear has gotten worse, or I guess Gio's boosted abilities from his wonderful pit crew and his crew chief has truly helped him out. We're going to see if we can get by Daniel Ricciardo before we pit, just because we're going to burn these tires to the ground anyways. Might as well make them work, right? I don't think it is, but I do think we're going to be the very first car to pit in this race. Yep. Pitting onto the super hards, so we're going to be trying an undercut. The undercut strategy means that we are trying to pit sooner than everyone else in front of us to hopefully get open space and beat them on a slower compound but with a better strategy. It doesn't always work, but it does help out weaker cars like our own. As Gio, I think, has 2 more laps in him. After this lap, he's coming in. So we'll let him push here. He should pass a slew of cars, catapult himself into the top 2. He's now on the same strategy as the leader, which means he might not have the pace as the leader, but he should finish somewhere very close to the leader. And because of him staying out 1 extra lap, we get the ability to use the hard tires, which are slightly faster than the super hard tires. The strategy could work better for Gio than it does for Räikkönen, but Räikkönen's tire wear with his vehicle just isn't there. We're going to see if Kimi can get past Seitz. It does not look possible. Whoa! Someone spun up ahead. Kimi gets 2 places. Giovinassi's in the pits. He's putting on the hard tires now. Who's going to beat each other out? Kimi still gets the edge when it comes to being out of there first. But if you look ahead of us, it looks like 4 people should pit. That's what my calculations are. 4 people should pit, maybe 3. So we're fighting for points here. We're always fighting for points, but it's going to be closer. We did let Gio just got ahead of Kimi just because of his tire advantage, but that eventually will fade. As some of the hard runners are coming into the pits now, they were in last place when they were running that strategy. I'm glad we didn't try that because it just ruined their race. Now Räikkönen gets ahead of Gio. This is great and all, but we need to really start pushing. As you can tell, there are certainly 4 drivers ahead that need to pit. Lando Norris in 7th, Schumacher in 11th, Gasly in 12th, and Tsunoda in 16th. That's 5, but I just mentioned him because I saw his tire wear was that bad. We're going to see if Gio can actually push past Gasly as he is now. Nope, maybe Räikkönen can. Oh, Gio can get past him. Räikkönen can as well. They're working very well as a team here, which is great to see. It's sad to think that they might get broken up, but we'll see what happens with that. It's going to be a long season next year, whatever we choose to do. Let's see if we can just do our best. Schumacher's really slow up ahead. Let's see how the tire wear is doing currently. 9.5 a lap. There are roughly 6-7 laps left, depending on how they count. So we can't really push our tires, especially with how our cars are built. I know. I wish there were better too. But our car next year should be pretty good since Levi and Jerry Judy are working on it. Yeah, I was just as shocked as you were. So Kimi Räikkönen is in P10 currently. He should remain in P10. He might be able to get P9. It just depends on if that 4-second gap is good enough. The real question is how will Giovinazzi get back in the points since he's fighting Vettel, who does seem to have a little bit more tire wear than him, issue-wise. We are going to try to turn up the fuel since we do only have a few laps left, and our cars are good enough to at least handle a little bit of extra fuel going out of our system. Kimi's up in P9, Gio's fighting for that last spot, and we're going to try to help him get it. Seb's going to be hard to pass. He's trying to move on the outside, does not stick on that point of the track. A double point finish, even with it being 9th and 10th, is impressive for where we are as a team. I just hope we can get it. If you notice, everyone in the lead is kind of running the same strategy, and with their tire wear being roughly the same at that 30%. With 3 laps remaining, Kimi Räikkönen can push. Let's see how far ahead the person is in front of him. So Räikkönen to Ricciardo is 6 seconds. Honestly, there's no reason to push until the last lap for him. As for Gio, he kind of has to stay in this mode because he can't push too hard or then his tires are going to be worse than Sebastian Vettel's. Which, when your tires are worse, you cannot do as well as the person in front of you. Here we are, lap 18 out of 20. Verstappen's still your leader with a 15-second lead. Holy crap. That's just impressive. Mad impressive. Oh, what happened? Oh, okay. So you know that whole thing about how we had to pass Sebastian Vettel? Turns out Daniel Ricciardo, in P14 currently, if you look to your left, retired. Mechanical issue, wreck. I don't know. I'm thinking it's mechanical since there was no safety car. But that's just mad. Man just retired. Crazy to think of. Good for us, because now both of our drivers are in the points, but oh yeah, we want that P9. And we might just get it. Hopefully. Kimi Räikkönen now can push with all he's got because it's the last lap. Or at least the leaders have passed the last lap marker. Gio, we're going to have to wait till he actually touches the line to push him, because I don't want to risk getting a flat tire or a puncture where your tire just destroys itself, and then we're in the worst situation than we were 5 seconds ago. He might be able to get past Vettel here. He pushes him out wide. What a move by Antonio Giovinazzi. Kimi Räikkönen just up ahead of the road. We do have the best tire wear out of the people ahead of us, but they did run that hard strategy, but Gio has the better hard tire than them. That's interesting. I think we did pretty darn good. I know it's not a podium, it's not a P6 like we got that one time. Heck, Kimi Räikkönen didn't even finish where he qualified, but he wasn't that far off. P7 and P9 just shows that our car is where it qualifies now, which is great for us. I'm overall ecstatic with this. Technically, Räikkönen was P9 before the retirement of Daniel Ricciardo, but in motorsports, like always, we take those. Your mistake is my pleasure in this situation. Going on to the strategies here, Verstappen was able to do a medium onto medium. For our car, because of how bad it is, it said that mediums could only last 8 laps. Only 8 laps. Technically, Gio did make it last till 10, so I guess it wasn't that crazy. I could have done the same strategy as Verstappen now that I'm thinking about it. But he was able to push with the hards on the last couple laps to get past Vettel. So it's one of those, I didn't want to have both of our drivers fail in this situation. Pretty bland one stop for everyone here. And 3 people got lapped down, so they didn't finish the race in that situation. And Ricciardo just 20th place after a great qualifying effort. But that does mean we get points, everyone. 4 points for Kimi Räikkönen and 2 for Antonio Giovinazzi. I'm pretty sure Max Verstappen wins the World Drivers' Champion. But other than that, I mean, we did great. Happy to see Sebastian Vettel get points. He did just get a podium at Baku recently. which was great to see. I'm a big Seb fan and a Kimi Räikkönen fan, and they both got points, and Lewis Hamilton didn't, so it's pretty much a win-win in my book. Going on to the points table, just like I said, we're edging it closer to Haas ever so slightly every week. And for the Drivers' Championship, yeah, it's definitely Max Verstappen and Bottas way above everyone else. Let's see, we're going a little bit further down. Where are we? P13 and P15. No longer the worst of the worst. We're getting better each and every single week. So I'm proud of this team. I'm proud of a double points finish. And congratulations to Max Verstappen on the win. Sergio Perez and Hamilton are on the podium. Leading into the F2, looks like Yuri Vips. Another win. Easily the champion. Easy. As for NASCAR, Kyle Busch wins the last race. Joey Logano finishing second and Chase Elliott in third. Crazy to see. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I feel like my driving is hitting top form. I think this might be the start of a hot streak. And Kimi Räikkönen, just like that, giving us a hot streak. That's great to hear. Top-notch stuff from Antonio Giovinazzi in the interview that just went out on live TV. If only all drivers were so insightful. And just like that, a good interview, a +2 to all stats, +1 to sponsor appeal. I don't know about y'all, but our drivers are acting like they want to stay on the team. I'm not so sure about it, but I think only one of them can really stay in our current situation. We need to get some youth into this program. Y'all let me know what y'all are thinking for that, and until next time, I'm Like a Bosk, and thank you for watching.